Welcome to my 1 month update trying to grow beard using minoxidil and derma rolling. Looking back at day 0 of trying to grow my beard, before then I shaved daily. And by daily I mean every single morning with one of these. So just to clear some things, I was able at day 0 to grow a Kanye beard, what I have right here, and also parts of my sideburns. However, the cheek area on both sides were not very impressive. And yes, although I had some permanent hairs, I could basically count them on my 10 fingers. And if we spin forward to today, the 30-day mark, the 1 month mark, look at the cheeks right now. Like, that's crazy. So in only 30 days, small vellus hairs are actually getting more blood flow, are growing thicker, darker, which is what we want, because we want all of those hairs to look like the permanent ones I got on my mustache and down on my goatee. So I think I'm responding super well. And also it's important to note that I'm currently on Finasteride for my hair loss. What that is a DHT blocker. Because when you're losing hair with male pattern baldness, it means that your hair follicles are sensitive to DHT. DHT binds to those hair follicles and slowly miniaturizes those hairs. However, DHT actually promotes facial hair growth. So by inhibiting DHT, what I'm actually doing is inhibiting my facial hair from growing further. Because we have DHT receptors in these hair follicles on the beard, that the more DHT that binds to them, the more your facial hair will grow. Which is also why when a lot of people go bald, their beard comes out stronger, because that means basically that there's more DHT in the system that is initially binded to your hair follicles, but then they bind to the facial hair cells, which then in turn make them grow. So it's a little bit tricky there. However, I do think I'm responding quite well to the minoxidil and the derma rolling despite being on finasteride. And I take 1 milligram a day. And if you're currently suffering from male pattern baldness or you're interested in finding out more, I would suggest that you go and check my channel out, because I have made so many videos about my hair loss journey. If you're wondering what this regimen is that I'm doing for the beard growth, it is minoxidil and derma rolling. With the minoxidil, what you want to do is you want to use 1 milliliter of minoxidil twice a day, in the morning and at nighttime. And with the derma roller, I am gonna make some changes to the regimen, because initially 30 days ago when I started this, I said I would derma roll every second day. However, a few days in, I noticed that that was way too much. I'm using a 1.0 millimeter derma roller, and that just causes too much damage if you want to do it every second day. So what I've decided to do is that right now I'm doing derma rolling twice a week, which works super well. My skin is obviously a little bit more fragile the day after I do the derma roller, but because I do it like every 3rd, every 4th day, it gives time for it to heal properly. I'm seeing much better results this way. And it makes this journey more bearable. Initially I told you that I would use the derma roller in 4 different directions. I would go vertically, horizontally, diagonally one way, diagonally another way, which in practice means that I would go vertically, a little bit to the side, vertically, a bit to the side, vertically, a bit to the side. And when I say to the side, I mean, if you go here, where the derma roller ends on this side, that's where you want to start, like right next to it, so you cover the entire area. And then you will move on to the other side, and then you will move on down here, all in vertical lines. Then what you want to do is you want to go horizontally, same thing there, horizontally, and then up about the derma roller's width, so you don't leave a gap between the spaces, and then move along, up, move along, up, move along, up, move along. Same thing on this side, you roll, up, you roll, up, you roll, up, you roll, down here, roll, 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 and then you go diagonally one way, roll, 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 and then here, roll, 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 and then you go diagonally the other way, roll, 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 I can't roll. However, now I've personally decreased this to 3 different directions. So I only go vertically, horizontally, and diagonally one way. Because to me, on the face is just too much. It's different when I'm doing it on my own hair. Because I also use the derma roller on my hair, in which I do 4 different directions. It's just a little bit too much on the skin. I feel like it's a little bit more sensitive. That's why from now on, I'm just doing it in 3 different directions. Also, I told you guys to perform 20 strokes in each direction. Meaning that, for instance, when you do the vertical directions, you would start at the top and then you would roll it down. That's 1 stroke. And then you would do 20 for that direction. And then moving it to the side, you would do another 20, moving it to the side, another 20. And that's how you would go along for each direction. However, that is also a little bit too much to begin with, Maybe after a while your skin can tolerate a little bit more, then you can add 20 strokes. But for right now, I've half that, so I'm only doing 10 strokes, and that works perfectly. It doesn't take me now like 30 minutes to do it. It takes me about 10 minutes to do it. I get moderate pain, and I think I'm getting really good results with this. So that's what I would suggest you do too. Also, you can do 5 strokes if that's what you want to start out with. The most important thing is that you get redness on your skin, because what that means is that you've caused these superficial damages to the surface of your skin, which in turn will promote hair growth. As long as you get red, it's a little bit sore, you're doing it perfectly well. When it comes to these journeys, whether it's hair growth or it's beard growth, it's important to think of it as a marathon, because what's going to give you success is if you can stay consistent for a long period of time, as with most difficult things. So I don't want to stress to get quick results, but I'd rather approach this more realistically and stay patient and not doing too much initially and then not doing anything long term. So this works perfectly. Minoxidil twice a day and derma rolling twice a week. With the minoxidil, I'm also applying 1 milliliter to the head in the morning and 1 milliliter to my head at nighttime. So to be honest, I'm using double the dose of what is recommended, which hasn't caused any side effects for me, but I do not recommend it. But from my personal experience, I haven't noticed any side effects. I've been using it for 30 days now. And if you watched my first video for my beard growth journey, you also know that I've done this in the past as well. So yeah, up to you how you want to interpret that. One negative thing with this beard growth regimen is the amount of dandruff that you get on your face. It doesn't necessarily itch for me, but my skin just looks really dry. And if you've seen me before without a beard, I have very smooth and clean skin. And applying minoxidil twice a day to the face using the derma roller, it just makes it a little bit too dry, to be honest. And my way to combat that is to moisturize my face every day at around noon, so allow the minoxidil to be absorbed into the skin, and then I wash it out about 4 hours later. Then I moisturize, let the moisture sit on, don't wash it out, and then I apply minoxidil at night. But still my skin gets flaky, but at least it makes it a little bit better. I've also noticed that I have this spot right here where like no hair grows, which is super weird. So as much as I'm trying to focus here, I'm also focusing down here at the moment, because although I can grow this bit, I want to grow my jawline as well, because right now there's not a lot of permanent hairs right there. So don't forget about the underside, because that's just as important as this, because when you shave your beard, you don't want to have the lines going right here. You actually want to have the lines coming down through around here. So it's super important not to forget about this part, because we don't really think about that when we're thinking about beards, but this is just as important. I've also been trimming my beard. It's important that you don't shave your beard completely, because what that's gonna do, it's gonna stop these small vellus hairs from growing thicker. We actually want them to grow out and get affected by the minoxidil. So trimming is fine. I've kept it about 1 centimeter all across. I think that's the 2-inch guard that I use, so about 1 centimeter with the lever open. For me, this is perfect. I'm not damaging these small hairs that I got, but also I'm maintaining a clean look, or somewhat clean look. However, what I have done is I've shaved these parts down completely, because I don't want more hair growth around here, because these are already permanent hairs, and I don't like to have this very thick. It just doesn't suit me. So I've taken these bits off completely by shaving it, I have to admit that, but the rest I'm trimming down to 1 centimeter, which works super well for me. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue on using this beard growth regimen, and hopefully next month I will have even better gains, which I can't wait to show you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it somewhat useful, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.